George Mesco is with us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking Dunmore football, and it's your senior year, George. Let's talk a little bit about how things are going so far for the Bucks.
It's going well. We're on a hot streak right now. We got a couple big wins, and we plan on keeping that going.
Talk about responding after the loss. You guys seem like you responded in a positive way with a couple of big lopsided victories.
Yeah, we had a tough loss, and we decided we had to pick it up, get it going, and we had a big win against Riverside right after.
And beating Old Forge feels pretty good too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your position, tight end and linebacker, and what your role is on both of those positions.
Well, as a tight end, I got to be a big blocker for our offense since we're a dominant running team. And defensively, I have to be like a leader on the defense. I have to really be like the head guy there. I have to take control.
Let's talk about some of the clubs you're involved with. School, you're a well-rounded guy, so what do you do at school other than just play football?
Well, I partake in making the yearbook for our school, and I'm also the president of the French club, and I help do the blood drives for the Health Careers Club.
You got a few siblings, so talk about who they are and what they're up to.
My brother, Mark Mesco, he's 26. He's currently working at Mesco Glass. Got another brother, Don Mesco. He's at Temple right now. And Caitlin Mesco, who's a PA at Allied Services. Awesome.
You're a math kind of guy.
Yeah.
Down the road here, you're thinking pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Talk about some schools that might be on your short list. You're thinking far away, close to home. Do you have a list right now?
Yeah, I'm mainly focused on Temple. Temple's a big school that I've been looking at.
Yeah, as far as the dedication in the classroom, talk about being a serious student and taking your studies. Like that. I'm sure your parents tell you got to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty dedicated when it comes to schoolwork, studying, all that.
Let's talk about your dad, Mark, and why he inspires you and some things that you look up to him for.
Well, he's a successful man with managing in a company, and he's just a good guy to look up to, It's up to the dad.
What do you like about hanging out with these guys? You guys will get together, you'll do some stuff outside of school. Talk about just bonding out with these guys and keeping the tradition at Dunmore alive.
Yeah, well, one tradition our team has is every Thursday we go to Nina's. Good team bonding.
All right, George, well, we wish you the very best. Go get them.
All right, thank you.
Louis LaCapra joining us here on the John Mendola Show, talking Dunmore football. And let's talk a little bit about your role on the offensive line. Where do you play, and how are you guys doing so far this year?
Well, I play center, which is a very important role. You have to know what you're doing and what everybody else is doing on the line, so you all function as one. And these past couple weeks after the trail game, we've been running the ball down people's throats a lot. Last week, we almost had 400 yards rushing, which is very good.
Take us through that offensive line. Who's on the left side of you? Who's on the right side of you?
Well, on the left tackle, Jake Saka, he started at center as a sophomore up to his junior year, but the coaches decided to bump him out. Right now, it's Seamus Cadden and Anthony Cashmere switch out at left guard. I'm at center. Pat Donvito is at right guard, and Anthony Sinicero is at right tackle.
How do you feel like you guys are gelling as a group right now? You feel like you're really physical, you have good feet, good angles. Talk about what Coach Mills talks about, that you guys are coming together as a unit here just past the halfway point of the season.
Well, the first couple of weeks were rough. Losing the prep was always real big. Jake got hurt that game, so we had Anthony Cashmere bump out to left tackle. But these past couple of weeks, we've been gelling a lot. Coach Mills has been really been getting us on about finishing our blocks, doing your assignment, and we've been getting that done.
Older brother, younger sister, you're in the middle. So tell us about each of them and how the whole family works there.
Well, my brother, he graduated last year. He played left guard, Rocco. And right now he's down at Misericordia playing football, and he's studying biology. My sister, she's a freshman, and she does volleyball and cheerleading.
You're a history guy. Talk about, is it the teacher or the subject area that you enjoy at Dunmore?
Well, I've always liked history, but Mr. O'Brien, he really makes the class fun and very interesting.
Nice. Let's talk about your father as a role model, why you look up to him.
My dad, he always gets on me. We always have one-to-one conversations. We always talk about football, but more importantly, he talks to me about life, always going down the right path, working your tail off until you get that accomplished.
Something that's lost in this day and age is a one-on-one conversation, so kudos to your dad and to you for being able to listen, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. It seems like Dunmore's back on the rise here end of the regular season. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Tyler Overholtz is with us from Dunmore here on the John Mendola Show. And Tyler, it's your senior year, so let's talk first on the defensive side of the ball. How do you contribute there?
Well, I have to contribute a lot there. I have to step up. It's my senior year, and it's something that I've been looking forward to my whole high school career. And I have to step up and lead everyone else in the right direction.
Let's talk about those guys up front for Dunmore. Take us across the defensive line.
There's me at the defensive end, and there's Anthony Sanacero, Louis LaCapra, and Kyle Hardy up front. We've been working hard, and it's something we've been working for.
You guys got to do the job, so hopefully the linebackers are there to help make some tackles. So talk about who those linebackers are and who's stepping up in that role.
George has stepped up a lot in that role. Then we have Billy. He just got back from an injury. He's 100% now. And we also have Ralph Tolley. He's new there, but he's doing pretty good. And it's something that he enjoys.
Let's talk a little bit about your siblings. You got a bunch of them. So it's a big family, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you enjoy them.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about each of them and what they're up to in life.
Yes, there's me, the oldest. My sister, she's a sophomore at Dunmore. Then you have my younger brother, he's on the freshman team. My younger sister, she's in elementary, and my younger brother, he just started kindergarten.
All right, so it's Alexis, Dylan, Abby, and Zach, right?
Yes.
All right, and as far as the classroom, another guy you like history?
Yes.
You have Mr. O'Brien as well?
No, I've Coach DeSando.
All right, and tell us a little bit about what it's like having Coach.
It's a good time. I mean, I really like history and how it's taught, and he's a really good teacher.
So let's talk a little bit about the next step for you. You have an idea right now on what you might want to do next year, and again, everybody knows at a different age. Some kids, when they're in ninth grade, hey, I want to go be a doctor.
Yeah.
Some people as seniors, like, I'm not real sure. So tell us where you're at.
There's a couple things I'm going between, going through like athletic training or occupational therapy or physical therapy is something I'll be looking for.
Two good job placements for either of those. Let's talk about your mom, Erin, as a role model. Why do you look up to her, and what are all the things she does for you?
She's very strong. My parents are divorced, and she's really stepped up and showed me how to do a lot of things, and she's a very strong person.
Let's talk a little bit about your coaches at Dunmore. You have a veteran guy like Coach Henses, but then you have some other guys that have a lot of years under their belt, and they're good guys overall. You go through Dunmore, you know you're a pretty fortunate person to go through those coaches. So take us through some of the relationships you've developed and what life lessons you've learned from them.
Well, to start off with, Coach Henses, he's taught me a lot. He's taught me how to be a better gentleman and how to lead people in the right direction. Coach McHale in the off season, a great coach, always pushing me harder, weightlifting and everything, making me do my best. Coach D on specialty teams is teaching me, go down there, give it my all, don't take a break and everything. And Coach Mills on the offensive side telling me keep on my blocks, don't stop, and make sure I finish my assignment.
Being important in your community really makes a lot of sense at Dunmore. So talk about how they emphasize that in the coaching ranks of, guys, we want you to give back to your community. You guys do a lot of things in your community.
Yeah, our community gives us a lot in general. I mean, at every single game, they're always there, and it's something we look forward to, and the crowd really makes it a better game, and it gives us energy and gets us all pumped up for it.
Couple wins in a row here for Dunmore after the loss to Trail. Go Bucks, and Tyler, the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Kyle Hardy is with us here from Dunmore. We're talking Bucks football, and it's your senior year, Kyle, so talk about what it's been like to go through the program at Dunmore.
It's unbelievable playing at Dunmore. It's always a good pride at Dunmore. All the coaches push you. It's awesome. Just playing with all the guys that came and went, it's unbelievable.
Talk about as a little kid looking up to a player, you're like, oh man, I would be like this guy. Who was it?
If I had to look up to a player, it was always Chris Coviello. He was a guard, and I started out as a guard, and I just always looked up to him.
Neat, and I have a player that I can remember when I was a kid I looked up to as well in high school, and you always try to emulate them. Let's talk about your positions over on the defensive front. What job you do for your defense and the guys around you?
Yeah, I'm one of our defensive ends. Our D-line is shaping out to be pretty good this year. With Anthony Sanacero, Louis LaCapra, and Tyler Overholtz are on it. We try to hold our own, cause disruption, just be playmakers.
One of your teammates spoke about the linebackers. How about some guys in the secondary? When you're a D lineman, do you even know who those guys are?
Yeah, we got some good guys back there. Steve Borgia, Charlie Valvano. all the linebackers, Billy, George Mesco, they're all unbelievable players for us.
What do you think you guys have done differently since, obviously there's experiences, whether you win or lose in a game, you're gonna take something and say, okay, we could be better in that area, or this is what we're doing well. But let's talk about what you learned after the Trail game.
We just learned that we can't have bad practices. We have to come into every practice like we're playing a game that day. We can't slouch around, do stuff like that. We just have to prepare for the games.
You have a sister, Kaylee, who's a little bit older, so tell us a little bit about what she's up to.
She's just getting finished with grad school. She went to East Stroudsburg. She's being in a finance, and she's just finishing off her grad school.
Track and field, another sport you do. Talk about the events you compete in there.
I throw for track. I think I do pretty good, but we'll see what happens this year.
All right. Any big goals this year in track and field?
Hopefully get to districts, do good there.
Math in the classroom is what you're good at, 3.5 grade point average. You're talking engineering down the road. Talk about where that came from.
Engineer, I just always been interested with building. I would like to go into civil engineering, like building bridges, things like that. And I take a STEM class, just very interested in stuff like that.
We can use a lot of help with bridges in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, sir.
And your dad as a role model, talk about your relationship with him and why you look up to him.
He's just always there for me. He's always pushing me to go to the next level. He's just always there.
Well, Kyle, great to hear your story, and we wish you the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Billy Donvito with us here on the John Mendola Show. We're continuing the conversation with the Dunmore Bucks football team. It's your senior year. You also play with your brother Pat, your twin brother. So talk a little bit about your relationship with him.
Me and Pat, we grew up together, so we're obviously very close, and we've been playing since sophomore year, and even midgets. So we came a long way playing together.
Let's talk about his style of play versus yours. Is there much different?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference. I play I'm more of a skilled position guy, and he's up front, he's on the line, so there's a big difference there.
As far as your relationship with him, you hear guys all the time, we're best friends. But talk about all the different fun stuff you guys do together.
We're very close. We hang out with the same friends, so same friend group we're in. So he knows Kyle Harity, George Mesco, all those guys. We all hang out together.
Same beard as you?
No, not as good.
Not as good. I like it. Let's talk about overall being a Dunmore Buck and the experience of being under Coach Henzes and the other coaches there. What it's been like for you?
Coach Henzes is just he's a legendary coach. Everybody knows him wherever you go. So just playing under him, it's been a little different this year not having him there, but he's always a guy that'll stay on you and push you to your limits to be the best you can possibly be.
You're involved with a bunch of clubs at Dunmore, so talk about staying busy with those.
With those, practice, just everything, schoolwork, it's a lot, especially your senior year applying to colleges. Everything's just, you got to make time for everything.
You got another brother, Nick, so tell us about what he's up to.
He's my younger brother. He'll be on the freshman team next year. So he plays on the Oilers right now. He's on the A team. And he plays the same positions as I do.
Oh, you guys seem to like history at Dunmore. Must be a great subject. 3.5 grade point average. Talk about what you enjoy about history.
I kind of like just every class, but history, I just like the teacher, Mr. O'Brien. He's a good guy. So.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about life after high school, what you're thinking.
Right now I'm very undecided, but I'd like to go into law enforcement, and hopefully I want to play college football, so I want to play at the next level.
Good for you. And as far as your role model, we're talking about your dad, so tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, well, my father, he played football, but at Abington, so he's always guided me through how to play, showed me the way of the game and everything like that. So.
You talk about a team you like to play or a rivalry. Lakeland comes to mind for you. Talk about what it is about when you play the Chiefs.
Lakeland's just, I don't know, there's something about it though, but our freshman year, I remember us being in school that day, and me and Kyle Harity, we were pretty fired up for that game, and that was just there's something about that game, I don't know.
Well, Billy, we wish you the best going forward. You've had a nice career there at Dunmore. Keep it going, okay?
Yes, thank you, sir.